Hi, this is session 18 of Apigee Edge course for beginners. In this session, we will see how to refresh access token, that is, how to get another valid access token by using refresh token. In our previous session, we discussed the significance of refresh token. In case if you haven't watched it, I would recommend you to watch because you'll get a basic understanding of refresh token and its usage. Okay, in case if you are new to our channel or haven't subscribed our channel yet, I would love to have your subscription, which will force me to make more videos. Alright, without any further delay, let's see the demo to refresh our access token by passing refresh token. Alright, let's navigate to Google Chrome browser and log in into Apigee Edge UI. After login, let's click AP proxies under develop tab, which will populate all the available AP proxies which we have created already. And here, if you could see, AP proxy demo is the AP proxy which we have been using in our course so far. So let's use the same AP proxy in the session as well. So let's click on it. And let's navigate to develop tab. Here, if you could see, OAuth2 is the proxy endpoint which we use to generate access tokens and revoke access token. So let's use the same endpoint here to refresh our access token as well. So in order to refresh our access token, we would need to add a new flow. So let's add a new flow. Let's click plus icon over here. So I'm going to add a new flow by naming something like refresh access token. And description we can give something like this flow refreshes access token. And conditional type we are going to use path and verb. So let's select path and verb. So path we are going to specify as refresh underscore access underscore token. Alright, so verb, let's provide post. With these changes, let's add this flow. Okay, now we have added the flow. Then now we would need a policy to generate or to refresh our access token by refresh token. So which policy will do the job for us? As you might have guessed by this time, what V2 policy will do the job for us. So let's add what V2 policy. So in order to do that, let's click plus icon under policy section and look for what V2 policy and add this policy. I'm going to name this policy as OAuth-V2 hyphen refresh hyphen access token. Access hyphen token. Alright, so you can give any meaningful name you want. So after providing the name, let's add this policy. And before we make any change, let's get rid of all the unnecessary elements from the policy. So let's remove the unnecessary elements. So let's remove this. Alright, we have removed all the unnecessary elements from the policy. Okay, so first important element is operation. So what are we trying to achieve from this policy? We are trying to refresh the access token. So the policy operation value has to be refresh access token. So let's change it to refresh access token from verify access token. Alright, we have provided the operation. Now what other elements we can specify? So we can specify expiry time for access token and expiry time for refresh token. So let's add those respective elements. Expires in. So this element will specify expiry time for access token. So as you know, we'll have to specify the value in the milliseconds here in the policy. So let's specify to 10,000 milliseconds, which is 10 seconds. Similarly, let's add for refresh token as well. So refresh token expires in. So this is the expiry time for refresh token. So let's provide 30,000 milliseconds, which is 30 seconds. Alright, so after this, we would need refresh token element. So this element will take the refresh token from our request, and then it will refresh our access token. So it will refresh the access token and it will give the new access token to the client application. So here we'll have to provide from where the refresh token will pass from the request. So in this session, we will pass refresh token in the header from our request. So let's specify that. So let's provide it as request dot header dot refresh token. So we'll have to pass refresh token in the header with the key refresh underscore token. Alright, we'll have to specify the grant type as well. So let's provide grant type element, and grant type also will have to provide from the request. So similarly, let's provide grant type also in the header from the request. So let's provide the value for grant type as request dot header dot grant underscore type. Alright, now we have made the required changes in the policy. So let's add this policy in our flow. So let's copy the policy name. Please keep in mind that whenever we attach any policy in any of the flow, we'll have to provide the name of the policy, not the display name. Since I have provided the same value for name and display name, I'm copying it from here. Alright, let's navigate to our flow and let's try to attach the policy which we have added now. So in the request section, so let's add a step, and inside a step let's add name tag and provide the name of the policy here. Alright, we have attached the policy in our flow. With these changes, let's save this as a new revision. Alright, our new revision is saved. So let's select our new revision and deploy it on the test environment. So let's deploy. Alright, our revision is deployed. Now let's flip to Postman tool, and now let's try to generate access token. So here if you could see, this endpoint is the same endpoint which we have discussed in our earlier sessions, that is to generate access token using password grant type. In case if you haven't watched those sessions, I would recommend you to watch so that you will get familiar with generating access tokens using password and client credentials grant types. Alright, so let's try to generate the access token and let's see what we get from Edge. Alright, we are getting access token from Apigee Edge. Alright, now we'll have to invoke the flow which we have created now to refresh our access token by passing refresh token. So let's see how to invoke that endpoint. So let's add a new tab here, and let's try to copy the base path from the previous request. So let's provide it here, and if you could remember, our path value is refresh underscore access underscore token. So let's copy this and provide it here. So our flow verb is post. So let's change the verb to post from get, and we'll have to provide the value in the header, that is we'll have to provide the grant type and refresh token in the header of our request. Here we have specified that we'll pass refresh token and grant type from the header. So we'll have to pass these two values from the header. So let's copy the refresh token table name. So we'll have to pass refresh token here, and let's copy the grant underscore type variable name. So we'll have to pass grant type. So the grant type for the operation refresh access token is refresh underscore token. So this is very very important. If we specify any other value for this grant type, then we won't be able to refresh our access token by refresh token. So this is very very important, keep in mind. All right. Along with this, we'll have to provide the authorization header as well. So in the authorization header, we'll have to provide the base64 encoded value of client ID and client secret key of our app. So let's copy the value from the previous request. So let's copy it and let's provide it here in the authorization header. So by this time, this refresh token would have expired, I think so. Anyways, let's try to you know refresh our access token by providing this refresh token. So let's see what we get from Edge. All right, we are getting since we have set the expiry time for refresh token to 5 minutes, it is valid still. All right, so okay, now we are able to refresh our access token by providing refresh token. By default, we will be able to refresh our access token only once by providing refresh token. In case if we try to get another access token, or if we try to refresh our access token again by providing the same refresh token, then we won't be able to do that by default. So let's see that whether we are able to do that. I'm giving the request again and it says invalid refresh token. In case if we want to refresh our access token by providing refresh token more than once, then we'll have to make a slight configuration. That is, we'll have to include one element in our policy. So let's see what element is that. So here we'll have to say reuse reuse refresh token. By default, this is a boolean field, so by default it is false. If we give, or if we say the value of reuse refresh token to true, then we will be able to refresh access token n number of times by providing refresh token. Let's see that in action. Let's save these changes. And now let's try to generate a fresh access token. And we have got refresh token now. So let's copy this refresh token and provide here as a refresh underscore token, and let's try to refresh our access token. Here we go. We have got access token. So if we try to generate, or if we try to refresh our access token again by providing the same refresh token, now we will be able to do that. And if you could see, the refresh count is 1, so we have refreshed our access token once. Now if we refresh again, the count will be 2. Let's see that in action. Here we go. It says refresh count as 2, and here if you could see the refresh token as same what we have passed already. So if I try to refresh it again, then the refresh count will be 3. Here we go, it is 3. So with the reuse refresh token set to true, we will be able to refresh our access token by providing refresh token n number of times. If we set the value of reuse refresh token to false, then we will be able to refresh our access token only once. All right, this is how we will be able to refresh our access token by providing refresh token. And in our next session, we will see how to revoke refresh token. And I hope this video is helpful. If so, please like our video and share it with your friends. And also please do not forget to subscribe our channel. That's it in the session. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Happy learning.